everybody. I'm Beth English, and I'm here today with my friend Sergio. Hi, Sergio.
Hi, Beth. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Today, we're going to talk about 3 powerful benefits of creativity. What do you think about that topic?
I love that. I think creativity is one of those things that is like medicine. So I can't wait to hear what some of those benefits are.
It is medicine. How has creativity impacted your life?
Well, I think it gives me like energy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I feel creative, I feel like I have more energy in that day versus the days where I'm not, I feel like I didn't do much on that day. And for me, I'm driven by activity and I love activity and the feeling of I get things done. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely creativity gives me that juice to, keep pushing and keep working.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, creativity for me and so many people in the community that I run use it for healing, use it for bettering their life. And this message is not just for artists, but for all people, because I
Right.
believe everyone is creative and we're just either maybe practicing it or not practicing it. But it has amazing benefits to our life. And I just want to talk about some of the top 3 that I have noticed for myself. So,
Excellent. I can't wait.
all right. You ready to go?
Let's get it. Yeah,
Let's get into it.
See. I already have my pen, so I'm ready to take notes on this one.
Well, the first benefit is connection. You know, humans are wired for connection, and it's something that makes us feel so good. And I feel like the practice of being creative or creating anything for that matter really puts us into the present moment. And so we are feeling our way through time instead of thinking our way through it. And so the more engaged we are with our body, the more it's wanting to use our senses to understand, well, do I like this? Do I not like this? What feels good? What doesn't feel good? And we're being driven more by our feeling and our sensing selves than anything else. And so it just naturally creates more of a connection with us and ourselves, with other people, and with whatever practices we're putting into play, whether we're drawing or painting or dancing or singing, whatever that is, we're being connected to our bodies, connected to our minds, and things are crisscrossing over like mind, body, spirit like never before because we're actively engaged in the power of the present moment. And so that's why I feel like the first benefit I wanted to talk about, where the benefit of creativity is connection.
I love that one. Yeah, because it's kind of like it puts you in tune with your self-awareness, right? Of where you are, who you are, and what you're thinking about. And yeah, I love that. You know, as you were talking and describing it, I'm thinking, well, that, yeah, when I'm going to the studio, even me, just myself, but I'm in contact with myself, with my mood, with my emotions of that moment, with my memories, everything that happens in there, it's represented in that moment of creativity. And then when we take that out into the world and as we engage with others, how that becomes that connection, that you talk about. So yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a great benefit. It's on my notes as number 1.
And I think, the more that we're connected to ourselves and have an understanding of who we are, the better we are at having relationships with other people. And so it all starts with the inner self, and then we are the ripple that creates the relationships around us. And so practicing creativity, whether you're in the studio or out of the studio, we're all just solving problems and connecting to yourself, the present moment, what you're doing really brings in that awareness. And then we're going to take that awareness and we're going to focus it right on what feels good, because I think that's what guides us a lot of times when we're being creative. We're like, is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? I like that, or I don't like that. We're having all of these questions within our mind about how we're going to go about making decisions. And a lot of time it's to feel better. And so the second benefit of creativity is joy.
Joy. Okay. Let's talk about that one.
I feel so much joy when I'm creating, because if I'm doing it consistently, then I'm consistently like aware of what's feeling good. And over time, when we are aware of what's feeling good, we're driving that into our brain and creating a habit of seeking out what that is. And so it just becomes more familiar over time. And so I think if we're practicing creativity, we're practicing connection, then the byproduct is naturally going to be joy.
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's one of those things that, when creativity is not expressed, is not active, then sometimes you have those seasons in which it's hard to create, it's hard to be making, and you can feel that you're missing something, like something is drying out inside of you. And and it's okay, sometimes happens. Maybe one of our friends right now may be going through something like that, and it's like, what's missing? That is that, activity of creating, of engaging in that process that kind of fills our mind again, because it brings us back to that connection, I think, that you spoke about earlier. And without that, we feel like something in our lives is missing as creative people. And yeah, definitely, I think joy is one of those big benefits of living a creative life.
Definitely. And when you're putting it into practice, you start to see a sense of accomplishment as well. And I think that makes us feel good. And when we're actively pursuing creating, and we are seeing ourselves almost transform through that process, because our idea starts maybe somewhere here, and then it goes somewhere maybe in a new direction, or maybe exactly where we had focused our vision. I mean, ultimately, we see ourselves transforming, and we're feeling good about where we're going. That's why we keep continuing to pursue that. And I think over time, when you are connecting and you're feeling that joy, you're going to come to the third benefit, which is living a meaningful life. You're going to experience meaningfulness like never before. You're going to have the self-awareness to know what is it that requires you to have a meaningful life. You're going to feel the joy of, well, I want more of this in my life. And then when you just start, it's just like, it just compounds on each other, the joy and the connection, to where you're ultimately in a place where you're happy, because you're experiencing connection in ways you never would have done before. You're experiencing yourself and the relationship you have with others, and what makes you feel alive in life like never before. And meaningfulness, like, it's just on the other side of practicing creativity. And I'm not saying that we all have to draw, or we all have to paint, or we all have to create works of art. I mean, that's what this audience is here for, listening to about creativity and art making. But I just want to encourage all of you watching, for everyone out there, raising a family, or keeping a house, or, working a job. We all have to use creativity in our everyday life, even when we don't realize it. And the more that we practice it with a sense of connection and peace and joy, we're going to feel more meaning. And I think when we're living meaningful lives, then we have meaningful relationships and meaningful experiences.
Totally agree, Beth. And I think also, that's part of the meaning when you do it on a consistent basis, as you talk about, then it becomes part of also of your own identity. Right? Then it's embodying your own identity as well, in the things that you do, the way you conduct yourself. And, it shows some of those traits of creativity that you've been fostering, because creativity is one of those things that it's like a seed that you plant, and you have to water it every day. Even for the most, creative or talented artists out there, or musician, still, that person has to water it every day, right? To continue growing and developing into something amazing and beautiful. And that's part of when I think about the meaning of it, it becomes part of our identity, which is kind of something that I really, really engage and I love with. And because it's not only a conversation for creatives in terms of artists or musicians or poets, but it could be for everyone. I think that is a great way. I mean, I have seen so many people who are totally not, what you might consider an artist, but are very creative in so many ways. And that becomes part of their identity too, right? And that is a beautiful thing. And I think also, even for us as creators, we might think, well, I'm already a creative, check, right? I don't need this video. I think sometimes also taking our creativity into another field or another sphere or experience is also a great thing, because you start from scratch, not knowing that, and then starting from zero and putting that seed again and watering it every day. I think that's something that can happen, and it's really meaningful as well.
Well, I hear what you're saying about how if you're already a practicing artist, then you're like, oh, I'm already creative. But I think I have learned more about creativity by being a practicing artist, wanting to learn more and more and more, because I feel like if I'm made in the image of God, and God is a creator, well, then I'm a creator too, and everyone is a creator. How do I become the best possible creator I can be? And a lot of that is overcoming struggle and overcoming fear of maybe messing up or not being enough. And so even in the hard times when we struggle, where we don't like a painting, or we can't figure out the next piece of the song, or what we want to write more of, I think that in that moment where we find the resilience that we need by using creativity to solve those problems. And so if you're someone who maybe has not been creating as much as you'd like to, I just want to encourage you to give yourself permission to practice creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be as simple as that you are worthy enough to be able to say yes to yourself and do the thing that's calling out to you. And I say this over and over and over again because everyone needs to hear it, because sometimes we forget so easily how worthy we truly are and how precious our gifts and the insights and the visions that we have are, and how important it is for us to go out there and do the work, because you just never know where it's going to lead. But you do hear your heart calling out to you to create, then go out and create. And you will find connection, you will find joy, and you will find meaningfulness. So thank you for having this discussion with me today. It just makes
I love that, Beth, and I
warm
have
and
it
fuzzy.
here on my notepad right there. Connection, joy, and meaningfulness. Very excited. And it's something good to continue to think about, through our day.
Well, I'm just so grateful that we're able to have these conversations together and share them with everyone watching. So if there's something you'd like to add, please leave us a comment. Let us know how you're finding your joy and how you're using your creativity today. We would love to know. So we're about done with time. If you can believe it, it went so fast. But Sergio, how can our friends find you online?
Yes, so you can find me on Instagram as Sergio Gomez Art.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Beth English. My website is bethenglish.com. And we will have another great video for you next Wednesday. So we hope that you watch and subscribe. And is there anything else you want to add, Sergio?
No, I think that's it, Beth. Just, for our friends, make sure every Wednesday, check it out. Every Wednesday we're here. Doesn't matter if it rains or snows or whatever. We're always here on Wednesdays doing our conversation. So hope our friends continue to join us. We love to hear from you.
Yes, I love hearing from you guys. Have a great day. Go out, create something, find your joy. I know you can.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Bye.